Hi everyone, I hope you're keeping safe and warm at your homes. As promised, I'm here with this new slap exercise. Now this slap exercise can be done 3 ways: easy, medium, and difficult. And I'm going to walk you through so every person can play this to their level, and if you feel like you can try to challenge yourself and go a little bit above to the next level. It's all up to you. As usual, we have tabs here, we have a play along for you to play with, and I hope that you enjoy this next bass line. So let's start from the easy version. Now this is very important, especially if you're new to slapping your bass. This is really a different technique, and you want to make sure that your time is as accurate as your fingerstyle playing. It's completely different. You got to get used to it. So the easy exercise that I've made this track into is really just the beginning, that 16-note part every first beat of the measure. Now we're gonna start with just focusing on that first quarter note. Okay, so we're just gonna play this really cool octave phrase. It sounds very nice, but there's really not much to it. It's just 16 notes all through, and we're playing the octave. Now, the 16 note is a very important subject in this tutorial because that whole groove is based on the subdivision of 16 note, meaning when we're playing this, we're counting it like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Part of your working on rhythm, is actually maintaining that subdivision, doing the rest so that you know exactly the right time frame in which you need to come in and play. The rests are just as important as the actual playing. And as I say to my students many of the times, the rest doesn't really mean that you need to rest there. It's silence, but not really a lot of resting. So when we're playing this track, what we're going to do is going to go through D and C, and we're going to play that 16-note sequence at the beginning of every bar. So we start with 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and going to the next bar. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now it's really important to keep that subdivision so you know exactly when to come in next time. What's cool about this play along is that you have the drums helping you. The drums do play the subdivision, so it's a very important skill that you're gonna work on right now, which is listening to the drummer. I know, we have to do it, there's no choice. All right, getting into the medium version of this track. So we're gonna bring in that same 16-note sequence from the easy part, but now we're gonna bring a few more notes in. To make it not too complicated, we're gonna stay on 8th note for most of them, so you don't have to play them too fast, and it helps you get your slapping chops in order. So the first part goes like this. Now that slide that you've seen me doing, that's very important because it's part of the articulations. And the articulations is kind of like the spices. Every good food needs spices. So that little drag really gives a lot to the groove. So make sure that you do it when you play it. And then we go to the second part. And a very important ingredient as well, articulation is coming in, the hammer on. So you don't really play that D that I'm playing, you hammer it on with your ring finger. And then come back to this little sequence. And in the ending, we're just gonna go with a little chromatic approach up to that D, right before we continue playing this loop. So we have this. The subdivision of this would be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Still important to keep that subdivision even though we're playing 8th notes, because that 1 is really that beat that terminates how the rest of the bar is going to go. You never want to miss that one. You can lose the gig for that. It's not good. So now let's watch me playing with the play along, the medium version of this track. Awesome. Well, if you survived so far, then we're going to get into the difficult version of this, which is really the full version of this bass track. So just a few tiny things that I added for the difficult version. So we're doing the first part the same way. Now we get a little fancier here. Let me just do one more time. So we have this part, which we've had before. Instead of lingering on this note, on this A, we have a few more components of the 60 notes. It's going to be like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and again. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and Now it's getting harder because we're moving through more strings. If you're just starting out playing the slap, or even if you've started out a while ago but you haven't had enough practice time, one of the things that are the hardest here is to target each string separately. This is something that you can practice slow with the metronome before you take it to the play along, would probably help you greatly with just the aim of the thumping. And then you get back to the D. And now to my favorite part, which is the last bar of the sequence. So we start the same way, but then we have a little play with the 60 notes. So let me do this in slow motion. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and one more time. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and okay, so we take all this together. This little bit, for me, it almost feels like dancing around with the anticipations with those 60 notes. That's what I like doing most with the 60 notes. It's about knowing how to hit the beat, but knowing how to work around the upbeat. That's what's making it funky. And it's a little hard to play. You can go ahead, play it with a play along, but reduce the speed. You don't have to play it up to speed. It's not, I tried to not do it too fast anyways, but you can reduce the speed in the settings, try to practice it in the lower speed, and try to go up as you go. Don't feel frustrated if you can't hit those strings right. Just take your time, slow it down, and try to work on your aim as you're slapping. So this was my slap exercise with the play along done 3 ways. Feel free to stick around here and practice it with the play along. I have many more of these bass lines that I'm planning to post in the future, so feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be the first one to watch when I'm posting these next videos. I also have a group class coming out where we're working on improvising and creating bass lines, and the secret of how to doing this, you can find out all the details here in the info and the comment. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon.